Remember the last time you tucked in a warm and greasy slice of pizza or a piping hot samosa just to curb that 4 p.m. tea time hunger? Wonder what made it taste so yummy? Ever heard of trans fats?
So, what do you know about trans fat or hydrogenated oil?
Sorry, what? Come again?
How much fat do you think your burger contains?
I have absolutely no clue.
Trans fat is man made fat made in the factories. It is produced by chemically manipulating and heating naturally found oil, also known as hydrogenation. The process solidifies the oil, similar to butter but way cheaper to produce. So, are there any health risks associated with trans fats? Trans fats were initially developed to protect us against butter. Truth be told, it's worse than butter. It is the worst type of fat you can eat, which raises the bad cholesterol and lowers the good cholesterol. This leaves us at a much higher risk of heart disease, the leading killer of men and women around the world.
Trans fats are the unhealthy version of fats which are primarily man-made and result because of food processing techniques. Common sources include a lot of chips, bhujiyas, fried foods, french fries. At household level also, we have a lot of trans fats in our kitchens which we do not even recognize and realize. For example, the oil which we use for frying and later we keep it for making parathas and other things, or vegetables for that matter. Reheating of oil and exposing it to high temperatures also leads to a lot of trans fat generation. A lot of our Indian snacks, right on the street, right from the street food to other packaged goods like I was mentioning, bhujiyas and samosas, patties, all these things, bhajiyas, all these things have a lot of trans.
Now, a very obvious question that arises is why are trans fats still being used if they are so harmful to the health? Trans fats are easy to use, inexpensive to produce, and last for a very long time. Food products prepared using trans fats have a greater shelf life and have desirable taste and texture.
According to the latest recommendations, the ones by FSSAI, which is the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, the recommended amount of trans fatty acids should be from 0 to a maximum of 2%. However, in some studies as well as results from NGOs, the lab testing and everything, they show that this amount, which should be less than 2%, ranges up to 23% in certain food products, which is again alarming. From the public health nutrition perspective, the community is gearing up for better labeling regulations.
A study conducted by Center for Science and Environment India shows that a Happy Meal at McDonald's could provide 90% of a child's trans fat requirement for a day, implying the level of trans fat in these products was high. So, how do we curb our consumption of food products containing trans fats? To start with, cutting back on foods containing partially hydrogenated vegetable oils to reduce trans fat in your diet and preparing lean meats and poultry without added saturated and trans fat will be a very good idea. Limit the consumption of baked goods such as cakes, cookies, pie crusts which are loaded with hydrogenated oil. Use naturally occurring unhydrogenated vegetable oils such as canola, safflower, sunflower, or olive oil most often. Remember, healthy oils are always liquid at room temperature, whereas saturated and trans fats are not. Eat a dietary pattern that emphasizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, low fat dairy products, poultry, fish, and nuts. Also, limit red meat and sugary foods and beverages. Having said that, we are not asking you to be on a lettuce diet for the rest of your life. The key to making sure that trans fats does not block your arteries and cause cardiovascular diseases is to know what you eat. If the food that you eat does not have a label, then ask for it.
Say no to trans fats.